Right now, the jury is still deliberating the fate of Jimmy Rodgers in the Dr. Teresa Sievers murder trial. Rodgers and another man are accused of killing the doctor brutally with hammers. Prosecutors say the doctor's own husband hired those two men to kill her. Fox 4 anchor Jane Monreal bringing you our live coverage from the Lee County Courthouse in downtown Fort Myers. And she's joined by Sandra Rodriguez with more on this story as well. Jane?
Patrick, we are coming up on hour 7 now since deliberations started this morning. The judge, of course, gave jurors instructions before they started, about 45 minutes worth of instructions. And then a few hours later, jurors actually asked for paper copies, individual copies of those instructions before continuing their deliberations. Let's go ahead and bring in in your corners Sandra Rodriguez, who's been following this trial since day one. Today, let's talk about, now that we are into deliberations, the charges that Jimmy Rodgers is facing.
Well, the judge started by telling the jury members the 3 charges that Rodgers is facing, which include first-degree murder, conspiracy, and burglary. And he really broke down what the state needed to prove for them to find Rodgers guilty of these charges. Now, he said that if they decide that is not proven beyond a reasonable doubt, that he is guilty of those charges, as we already said, they could still charge him with the lesser charges. Now, when it comes to first-degree murder, they could go with second-degree murder or manslaughter.
And it really comes down to analyzing, and that is listed in the instructions, analyzing the charges from the most severe, and if they don't feel like that they can agree on the points that qualify for, say, first-degree murder, then they come down to those lesser crimes. Some of the evidence that was talked about and what the judge told him about considering evidence.
Well, he told them that it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality of evidence, and really said it's up to them to decide what's reliable and what is not. But he also told them that they had to, with caution, take in consideration the testimonies from some of the witnesses. And these are some examples of what the judge told them.
For example, a witness who hopes to gain more favorable treatment in his or her own case may have a reason to make a false statement in order to strike a good bargain with the state.
And let's talk about some of those other questions then that you should be considering.
Well, the judge told them, be cautious with what testimonies you heard on the stand, and the jury came out, said they wanted to hear or read back the testimony from Taylor Showmaker, which took about 3 hours when she was on the stand.
Yeah, that was pretty much, the court reporter did read those instructions without any emotion or inflection, those pauses, the sidebars, all of that eliminated. Her almost 3-hour testimony was whittled down to just under an hour. Any impressions with that?
Well, I think they did that because when Taylor Showmaker took the stand, it was a lot of her not remembering what she had told during previous statements to law enforcement. So I think they just wanted to really hear that all over again.
All right, very good. We'll hear more from Sandra Rodriguez, also our legal expert, Pamela C. Dr. Pamela C., professor at FGCU, has arrived. We will also hear her analysis of today's deliberations, because there was some activity as well in the courtroom. For now, we're live in the Lee County Courthouse in downtown Fort Myers. For Sandra Rodriguez, Jane Monreal, Fox 4 in your corner.